I'm Steve Cooper with Christian Action Alliance. Thank you for taking the time to watch this important video. I had some reservations about making this video. I don't want to give an excuse for any unkind people to treat gays in an insulting way. Something is wrong with you if you have a desire to be cruel or hateful to others with whom you disagree. But there is another very important aspect to all of this that's been swept under the rug by most people. There is a need to be kind, but there is an obvious limit to what we will tolerate when it comes to protecting our children. To illustrate this, we might think that using illegal drugs is a negative thing. Yet, when we see someone who is an obvious drug user, we don't have the right to insult them or try to cause them harm in any way. But if this drug user, in an effort to satisfy his cravings, breaks into your house in the middle of the night while your family is sleeping, you have the unquestionable right and even the duty to stop him. And that is what this video is all about. It's not about any person's right to choose his or her lifestyle. The gay agenda is now entering our schools against parents' wishes and foisting upon our children a very destructive lifestyle. We have the unquestionable right and duty to stop this. This video has no more to do with tolerance or lack of tolerance than does protecting your home from being broken into by someone craving drug money. Our public schools have now become the friends and accomplices of child molesters. The following video is produced by taking the infamous Fistgate audio tape and combining it with video footage from the San Francisco Gay Parade. This parade came right after gay marriage was made legal by the California courts, but was facing opposition in a new ballot measure. As a PR move to help their chances of keeping gay marriage in the coming election, the parade organizers greatly toned down the parade and filled it with children skipping and dancing along. The following is the gay movement's idea of a family parade, and also a great day at school for children.
My name is Brian Kamenker. I live in a Boston suburb with my wife and 2 children, both in the public schools. A year ago, all the public schools in my town hosted a traveling exhibit described to parents as multicultural families helping fight racism. My son's class spent a great deal of time with it. One evening I went and looked at it, and I saw a few photos of biracial couples, but then photos of homosexual couples. There were accompanying descriptions, supposedly written by children, describing how they were all working to cure their parents of their racist and homophobic sentiments. Our local high school, both last year and this year, had gay appreciation days. Parents found their children coming home with pamphlets saying, "If you've never slept with a person of the same sex, how do you know that you wouldn't prefer that?" That same day, English and math classes were taken to assemblies on transgender issues, that is, describing as completely normal people who have sex change operations and men who dress as women, and also assemblies where children are encouraged to come out as homosexuals. The state of Massachusetts works with a national homosexual activist organization called GLSEN, the Gay and Lesbian Straight Education Network, not only to promote these activities, but in addition to fund so-called gay-straight alliance clubs in public schools across the state. GLSEN has set up over 700 of these clubs nationwide, and over 185 of them are in Massachusetts. These clubs are set up to attract troubled kids. They present an image of being cool and give the kids a new identity. They are told that they are troubled because they're really gay. On March 25, 2000, the Massachusetts Department of Education, the Governor's Commission, and GLSEN co-sponsored a statewide conference called Teach Out. Scores of gay-friendly teachers and administrators from around the state attended. They received professional development credits from the state of Massachusetts for attending. Among the goals were to build more gay-straight alliances in Massachusetts and expand homosexual teaching into the lower grades. Teenagers and children as young as 12 were encouraged to come from around the state, and many were bused from their home districts. Homosexual activists from across the country were also there. I'd like to turn this over now to Scott Whiteman, who, with a few other people, attended this conference. To say that the descriptions that he saw are every parent's nightmare does not do them justice. It is beyond belief that what is happening could be happening at all.
In considering homosexual programs in the public schools, one is always told that the goal is tolerance. It's not about sex, it's about tolerance. It's about civil rights. It's about human rights. It's about anything but sex, so they say. But when I recently attended the 10th Annual Gay, Lesbian, and Straight Education Network Conference, GLSEN, I heard quite a different story. You should know that this conference was fully supported by the Massachusetts Department of Education, the Safe Schools Program, the Governor's Commission on Gay and Lesbian Youth, and some of the presenters even received federal money. The audio excerpts you hear on this tape were recorded at this GLSEN conference. My experience, and what you are about to hear, was likely not a unique experience. This was my first GLSEN conference, and the majority of the tape you are about to hear was from the first 2 workshops I attended. To think that I could have been so lucky as to stumble into workshops that are not normal for these gay student-teacher conferences is highly unlikely. I would not be surprised if you heard the same things if you attended a GLSEN conference in your own hometown. Some of what you are about to hear is extremely explicit. This tape is intended for parents and adults concerned with the homosexual agenda in our schools and should not be listened to by children without parental supervision. If it's all about tolerance, why is the following question necessary?
Versus swallowing. I don't know about the calorie count of cum. All right, is it rude? Let's ask this question. Is it rude not to swallow? No, it's in good bedroom etiquette to let me know you spit out.
Tolerance. You just heard a public employee ask 14-year-olds if it was rude to spit rather than swallow during oral sex.
Do lesbians rub their foot together? If they're sitting, but do we have an answer? Are we talking globally? Okay, that's not the question. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. Any more information that we can share? Exactly.
The previous discussion was on how lesbians had sex, whether lesbians could have sex, and did they rub their clits together. The following conversation will give you some of the answer.
How does it work? How does it work? If you want to do a little like hand diagram for us. Like scissors? Is it like scissors? Rubbing together. So I'm asking, I don't know. Is this like on top of each other? Is this to the side? Your legs have to be spread? Like what's the story? Does anyone know the answer to these questions?
A student asked the rest of the class if anybody else had done it, so that they could get a better picture on how these 14-year-old girls could have sex with each other. A Department of Education employee informs all the young women in the room that rubbing your clits together is absolutely possible. You can achieve orgasm from it. You can be stimulated from it. It is a sexual experience.
So how does it work though? So you lay on top of each other? Okay.
Has anybody ever seen that? Like, I don't know. But it is absolutely possible that two women could lay on top of each other, face either like head, body, and you can rub the four eyes together, so you've got stability. I mean, I know you can do that, sure.
You can do whatever basically works with this one.
Audience, yes, I hope you learned something.
But even the completely abnormal came into the full light of day. Fisting, a deviant sexual practice where someone places their entire hand inside the rectum of their partner, oftentimes up to their elbow, was given particular attention and advocacy.
Okay, the first question is, what's fisting? Anyone want to hold hands together or there's flickering and then there's fisting. Very good. Actually, a little known fact about this, you don't make a fist like this, where they do it, it's like this. This is a lot easier. And then...
At this point, the gay male Department of Public Health employee positioned his hand open and pointed, rather than like a balled fist.
It's not forcing your hand into somebody's orifice or opening or hole or whatever you want to say. They doesn't want it there. So the person is usually relaxed. There's often meditation. It's not like you're hurting anyone. It's not like you're doing any forced steps on anybody. It's usually, one would hope is with two consecutive adults. Not that we've ever done that. Now, it's a very nice thing. It's a two consecutive adults. And you work your way upwards. So you put one finger and make the two fingers, three fingers. Some people can take your hand, some people can't take your hand, some people don't want to go that far. But it's often a very intense and deep experience and not an abusive, abrupt, painful kind of experience going on. When you get some people do like things like not putting that down, but that's typically not what you do that. No, you can't say that.
All right, I'm trying to get over here.
Yeah, but people love it. Oh my God! No, I don't know. It's like stuck it in there and like yanked it out. I wouldn't have. It doesn't sound appealing anyway. It sounds like pound weight is like. Absolutely, the face goes along with it. Yeah. And it can be for some people. It's really an experience of really letting somebody into your body who you want to be that close and intimate.
Fisting is, quote, an experience of letting someone into your body that you want to be that close and intimate with.
My ex said she enjoys pain. What the hell is that about? Well, let's take that on.
The ugliness of mixing sex and violence is best revealed through the world of sadomasochism.
I have a question. How do you draw that line? Like, let's say your person you're with said, I enjoy pain. How do you deal with that? How do you know what the boundaries are? What do you... Okay. So they can take a variety of forms. Can it? Yeah? What are some of them? Spanking, bondage, hot wax. Right, so it's something that needs to be explored.
Public employees did not discourage violence and sex. Rather, they asked 14-year-olds to draw a line through experimentation, asking the students to determine how they knew what their boundaries are, and those boundaries are best discovered through exploration. These public employees are actually offering suggestions to children on how to stick their entire hand into another's rear end. Pardon my frankness, but public employees have coached children in lewd and lascivious behavior. What a far cry from the teaching of the 3 R's in school.